So far, 3 new held items have been revealed for Scarlet and Violet. In this video, I'm going to explain how they work and how I expect them to be used. Covert Cloak is a held item which prevents the holder from being affected by secondary effects. Secondary effects occur from physical and special moves which have a chance to cause a status effect or a stat drop. This includes primary status conditions such as burn or poison, or secondary status conditions, mostly flinch. Essentially, this item gives the holder the shield dust ability. So what are some of the uses for it? My first thought was fast support or prankster Pokemon. If prankster Pokemon hold this item, there is almost no way of stopping them from using their first move, unless using priority moves of your own like Prankster Taunt, or strong priority damaging moves like Bullet Punch or Extreme Speed. In Gen 7, I used Murkrow a lot. One of my greatest struggles was effectively dealing with opposing Fake-Out users. While not without a trade-off having to give up one of your held items, Covert Cloak seems like an excellent choice if Fake-Out in particular is giving a certain Pokemon trouble. This item could also be extremely effective on a Pokemon setting up Trick Room, denying both the ability for the opponent to use Fake Out, but also the ability to flinch with Rock Slide is seriously powerful. Finally, this item can be quite useful for high durability Pokemon with low speed. Preventing the application of secondary effects could potentially help a slower Pokemon by preventing things such as flinch, burn, and freeze statuses from secondary effects. This would be particularly effective if the Pokemon has a means of healing itself. Next, let's look at Loaded Dice. It's unclear how Loaded Dice works exactly, but essentially it improves the odds of striking additional times with multi-hitting moves. Multi-hitting moves are moves which have a chance to hit between 2 and 5 times. It's possible this item will additionally affect the moves Triple Kick and Triple Axle in some form. Loaded Dice could work in a few ways. Multi-hitting moves have a 37.5% chance to hit 2 times, a 37.5% chance to hit 3 times, a 12.5% chance to hit 4 times, and a final 12.5% chance to hit 5 times. Loaded Dice could invert these likelihoods, with 2 and 3 having a 12.5% chance and 4 and 5 having a 37.5% chance. Alternatively, Loaded Dice could simply ensure all moves hit between 3 and 5 times instead of 2 and 5 times, perhaps with an even 33% chance or some other likelihood variation. Finally, it's possible that this item may work like the ability Skill Link, guaranteeing the move will hit the maximum amount of times. If Loaded Dice works like Skill Link, then this item is going to be crazy powerful. Assuming it doesn't, which is most likely, it will only be moderately powerful, specifically useful for Pokemon with the Technician ability, which can boost the power of each hit by 50%. The final item revealed was Mirror Herb, and this item is extremely interesting. My primary question about this item is whether it copies the effect of the move used that turn by your opponent, or if it copies the Pokemon's current stat boost when it's triggered, more like Psych Up. Also, is Mirror Herb only triggered by a Pokemon using a stat boosting move, or is it triggered when an opponent with a stat boost is on the field? For example, let's say my opponent is using Curse with their Snorlax. They get 2 or 3 of them out, and then I bring in my Machamp holding the Mirror Herb. Will Mirror Herb trigger once Machamp hits the field, matching Snorlax's attack and defense boosts? Or will it only trigger if Snorlax uses Curse again? If Mirror Herb triggers upon your opponent having any stat changes, I think this item will be slightly niche but extremely powerful. If Mirror Herb only copies the boost from a single move, this will be very difficult to use effectively. Sure, you could copy Belly Drum, but rarely is Belly Drum a popular move. Beyond Belly Drum, Swords Dance, Nasty Plot, Calm Mind, and Dragon Dance are fairly common. Alternatively, you could apply stat boost to your opponent using Swagger or Flatter, which would then presumably be copied by your Pokemon with the Mirror Herb, without the confusion effect of Swagger and Flatter. The problem here is you could have the same effect without having to boost your opponent's stats by holding a Persian Berry. So essentially, all you are gaining from using this item is the confusion effect on the opponent. Based on the wording from the announcement trailer, my guess would be that this item will only trigger from opponents and will be triggered not by their move used, but by your opponent having positive stat changes. This will make the item significantly more reliably powerful than if it just copied the stat changes from a single move. I think this item will be quite powerful, but fairly risky as well, likely to be used on Pokemon only brought if you expect your opponent to boost their stats on their team in Team Preview. If on the off chance that this item is affected by your ally Pokemon during double battles, this item gets really interesting and likely overpowered. Even if it's just a single move, this would be crazy. For example, having a fast Pokemon like Dragapult use Dragon Dance. Your ally with Mirror Herb will receive a +1 attack and +1 speed bonus, likely allowing it to move immediately after Dragapult with 50% more power. If this is the case, then Mirror Herb is going to lead to some really nasty combinations. That's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think about the new items in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you there.